Damn, what a day! Do you also have this feeling sometimes when you're getting home from a long day, you just want to relax and you just want to drink something soothing? And actually, you want to know if there is a green tea out there which can just be the perfect tea for this moment. And there are some green teas, and these two of these teas I will present you tonight. So, hello everybody, welcome to the Daily Sip. My name is Oliver. My mission is to bring you closer to organic Japanese green tea, and today we're gonna dive into the world of Bancha and Genmaicha. So Bancha and Genmaicha are two Japanese green teas which are actually low in caffeine. So it's a very good tea, or both of them are very good to drink in the evening, and you can easily just have it after a long day, an exhausting day. You just want to chillax and you just want to take your time and go into the evening. And these two teas are both actually quite similar, but in terms of taste they're very different. So on the one hand we have the Bancha. Bancha, when I just show it to you closely, you see more mature leaves, a little bit of thicker leaves, a very beautiful tea in terms of just filled with minerals, filled with a lot of nutrients due to the fact that these are more mature leaves, but low in caffeine. As more mature leaves, they need much less caffeine to defend themselves against bugs. They're much less affected by the attack of bugs, so that's why this tea has less caffeine. Another candidate I have here is the Genmaicha. Genmaicha, in my opinion, a little bit of a popcorn tea, and what you can see, the difference to the Bancha is that here in this tea we have some added rice corn, roasted rice corns, which are added to the tea, and this actually comes back to the the middle age of Japan, where tea became popular, where people really started to drink tea and it has become into vogue, and then also the lower middle class wanted to permit themselves sometimes a cup of tea, and what they did is just they added a little bit of rice just to make the quantity bigger, and that's how this tea evolved over time. Both of them are often made with Bancha, so here we have a Bancha, and also Genmaicha is made of Bancha. There's some a little bit higher grade Genmaicha, which is also made out of sencha, but this tea then has also a little bit of higher caffeine, and that's what I, after my exhausting and long day, I'm not looking for in a tea. So let's dive into this and see a little bit what the taste difference is. So we already clarified both of them are actually teas which are low in caffeine due to the fact they're coming from Bancha. The Genmaicha even a little bit lower due to the fact you have a mix of leaf and rice. Rice, no caffeine at all, and the leaves are very low in caffeine, and here we just have the low caffeine leaves but in a higher quantity. So there's a little bit of caffeine. So when we talk about caffeine level, in the Bancha we talk about around 30-35 milligrams of caffeine, which is around a third of a strong coffee. Or strong coffee, let's say an Arabica coffee. Arabica coffee is like the normal amount coffee. It's not a Robusta, which is then much higher in caffeine. So Arabica coffee is kind of a normal coffee strength, and here we have a third of the strength. When we talk about Genmaicha, there we go down to 20 milligrams for the Genmaicha, due to the fact it's a mix of stems and leaves and there's rice corns, and the rice corns here in this case, as you can see, are around 1/3 of the whole leaves, and the rest is green tea leaves. And what is also really nice about this tea, they're super simple to brew. When we go into brewing, you definitely can use your Japanese kyusu, which I will do with my Bancha. So I just add 5 grams of these leaves into my Japanese teapot, but you can also easily take the French press, good old fresh press, normally done to do coffee or used for coffee. But as we have seen, this is a very, very easy way to do green tea, and especially Genmaicha, which is not a very demanding tea in terms of being perfectly right with the time, being all the time there just to watch that it perfectly brews. So we just add in the water here, around 200 milliliters, and the same we do with the Bancha. And then we're gonna leave this tea just for 1 minute. Both these, in this case, are from Shizuoka. One is from the farmer collection of Hagiricha, and the other one is the Masuda Bancha. and both of them from the region of Shizuoka. Shizuoka, the biggest tea region in Japan, producing the biggest amount of tea. And Shizuoka is also very known for fukamushi, so-called deep steam tea, but here we are with asamushi tea, so not a deep steam, so just a normal steamed tea. And we already can see how the tea leaves, and that's the beauty about the French press. You can see, really see how the tea leaves are floating here together with the roasted rice pods. Maybe I'll show it also here, so you can really see how beautiful this tea actually works. In this minute it brews, and then with the French press, as you know, you just push down with the Kyusu. I have to take the leaves out. Let's take 2 glasses, number 1 and here number 2, and let's see what the brewing, how the brewing is. So very nice, very easy to brew. You see nice golden color of the tea, not intensive green, which is never the case for bancha. It gives this kind of a nice golden liquor. And then we push down of the Genmaicha, and we're just gonna pour here as well the tea. Good. Voila, that's it. Very simple to do. You see, brewing is very easy with these teas. So now let's go into the tasting. So maybe first smell the leaves. What is nice about bancha, even though it's a green tea, it has quite a little bit this drier, nearly a little bit roasty, toasty flavor, but it's not a toasted tea at all. It's just the highly mineralized leaves, which are more mature. They have a little bit more of this wooden note with them, and this just gives them a little bit of a slight roasted flavor. When we go to the Genmaicha, and here there's a big difference now to the bancha, when we just smell the leaves, it's absolutely kind of kicking in this a little bit roasted popcorn flavor. Very beautiful. I get some wooden notes, but definitely the strength of these roasted rice parts, they're really taking over the flavor in terms of smelling the leaves. So quite different. Here we have more of a kind of a little bit of a grassy, but mainly wooden note, a little bit of toasted, and a little bit of a minerally kind of way of leaves, or kind of taste of the leaves or smell of the leaves. And here just really strong kind of popcorn, slightly toasted flavor. When we see color wise, pretty similar. What we see here, this one here seems a little bit kind of a little bit more cloudy, seems to kind of appear a little bit more creamy, while this one here has a little bit of a stronger golden color. So quite a nice color between these two teas. And now let's go into the sip of the bancha. What I like about the bancha is it has this beautiful, soothing, kind of a little bit more density and a lot of kind of a young wooden flavor profile. So it's really going away from this typical green vegetal taste from a sencha and really moving into kind of a taste of a little bit young wood, a little bit of a toasted, slightly roasted flavor, but very, very beautiful in terms of this round, soothing, kind of calming notes, because they kind of these lower, these darker wooden notes, they give this tea such a soothing flavor. That's why I personally like it a lot if I do exercise or if I'm coming home and I'm exhausted from a day at work and I just sit down, have my glass of tea, have my glass of bancha tea, and then it's just beautiful, beautiful just to enter the world of bancha, which is just a calm, soothing, tranquilizing effect. And also what is very difficult, kind of very different for this tea is that it's not an acidic tea, but it is a alkalizing tea, just soothing your body. Often Japanese people drink it also after a meal because it helps with digestion. It has very, very kind of a calming effect also on the intestines due to the fact that it's alkalizing and not acid. So this is very, very good and just the beautiful part of this tea. Let me have another sip. I even get a little bit of this darker flavor, nearly like a blood orange. Sometimes when you eat a blood orange, it's still there's this typical orangey, but sometimes it's a little bit this slightly earthy flavor. You get some kind of this little bit this the violet kind of purple flavor of the orange. And this I'm getting a little bit in this tea too. So that's just this soothing, this mellow kind of taste profile of this tea. Then another one, Genmaicha. As we said before, popcorny, roasty, so complete different taste profile. So something very, very different from what I had now. Just also added on kind of the only real flavor tea, you might say so, in Japan, because kind of this typical flavoring, adding in lemon pieces or orange pieces or anything. This is something we in the West more prefer. Japanese people mainly go for a Genmaicha if they're looking for a flavored green tea. Now let's have a first sip of this. Completely different. Here we are at the very kind of smooth. We have a little bit this kind of characteristic of the bancha, kind of this a little bit more mellow, softer kind of gliding over the tongue effect. But you have directly also a little bit of the caramelly, a little bit the sweet, but especially cereally popcorny flavor of the rice pods, which are in the tea. So here the rice, kind of these roasted rice grains, they really give kind of an additional flavor extension to this tea. Besides this a little bit more wooden, a little bit soothing, kind of a lowering, kind of a mellowing effect of the tea, you also get kind of a more flavorful tea. So if you're looking for a more flavorful, a stronger kind of part of in a green tea, which you would like to try in the evening, also your palate is not that fine anymore. It is very, very, very sensitive in the morning. When you have your first tea, you really have to take a tea which has a complex flavor profile to really enjoy it. But when you're in the evening, your palate has already tasted many different foods, many different drinks. So actually what you want to have is a tea which shows quite a good flavor profile. The bancha already does this with its nice wooden note, but on the other hand, the Genmaicha just adds in this kind of little bit roasted and a little bit a stronger hit in this roasted popcorny flavor profile. And that's quite interesting. And I like to interchange in between those. Sometimes I take the bancha, sometimes I just want to have a Genmaicha, because the Genmaicha is just giving you a little bit of an extra kick in terms of flavor. And both of these teas, you can easily brew them 3 to even 4 times. You will see the flavor goes a little bit down. In the Genmaicha, I would say with number 4, it really goes down. What is nice about the bancha is that you're kind of going over from a more this wooden, a little bit stronger flavor, and then there's a slight sweetness coming in, and you can even go to 4, 5, or even brewing number 6. And it's very beautiful how this tea just changes its kind of its flavor profile. Definitely gets weaker, but there's kind of a hint of sweetness of from the 4th brewing with this tea. So super interesting. Price-wise, both of them at the lower end, so very affordable teas. So definitely teas which you can drink all the time, daily. Mostly in the evening. I suggest you can also drink it in the afternoon if you just want to have something which is a little bit low in caffeine. Just perfect everyday teas. Good, I hope you like this one here, and thanks a lot for watching. And if you don't have, then please click the like button, subscribe to our channel, ask us any question. Otherwise you find us on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you want. So please get in touch with us if you have any question about Japanese organic green tea. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you. Bye bye.